Okay.
Yeah, let's do this.
Feels so good to be back on the bike.
Yeah, it does. Want to get into the vlog?
Yeah, I guess. What are we talking about again? I forgot.
It's our first vlog, maybe? I don't know. One of our first, whatever. Let's talk about why we decided to do this. It's a lot of work.
Oh gosh, I think probably the biggest reason we got into doing this is because we want to talk about how enjoyable it is for us to ride our own bikes as a couple and ride together, and kind of the lessons learned.
Oh, yeah.
So, from my perspective, I mean, there's still a lot to learn.
There's so many new riders coming in now, I think due to just the COVID situation and people interested in getting into this thing. And we really wanted to highlight why as a couple it'd be a great idea to do this together. And it's not a scary thing, it's something you can enjoy together.
Definitely.
For us, it's enhanced our lives so greatly.
It's so much fun to do together. I recommend, if you're into riding or you get into riding or curious about it, that you ride your own bike. You explore that opportunity.
Well, that's the thing, right? What, 20%? I mean, it's creeping up, right? How many women bikers there are. But I think the market is starting to show and starting to pay attention to women riders.
I think so. I mean, we're finally getting, some clothing lines that are paying attention to what we want. And the bikes, bikes are marketing a little more to women. Oh, I've always had an interest in driving and mechanics and stuff like that. I mean, I'm not a mechanic by any means, but I love machines and I love performance machines. Although my bike's not quite a performance machine, but it's eye candy. I've always liked being on two wheels anyway, from bicycles to mountain bikes. Why not get on something with a little more speed and some actual power? Use some of that driving practice that I have and see, just have fun for myself.
When you ride a bike, it's something that you have to be a little bit more aggressive on, and maybe some women are intimidated by that. But there's a lot of defensive driving. You need to be a little bit more aggressive on a motorcycle.
You have to be able to maneuver your bike out of any situation, and if you don't, then you have to learn how to safely fall, I guess. I don't know. I've never laid my bike down yet. I don't ever want to, but I'm sure there are techniques on safely falling.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know. Close your eyes and hold your breath.
So it's things that's being defensive driving, like this white car here.
Mm-hmm.
These cars creeping up from the side. I'll probably highlight different dangers that I see when we ride circles, and our number one, and I'm calling it now. What's our number one enemy? I mean,
are you talking about the Odyssey minivan?
Yeah.
We're going straight, right?
You can go straight. Yeah, the Odyssey. Ugh. If you don't know what it is, it's a family minivan. What are the types of drivers Odysseys have?
Well, we've noticed that people who don't really pay attention to their surroundings, they squeeze into traffic, almost act like they're really aloof and they're just impervious to any kind of danger. So they just drive willy-nilly. If you ever see a minivan with a dent, you want to avoid it at all costs. Stay far, far away from it. I've told my kids this. I tell any young driver this. Just stay away from minivans that have dents. I mean, not to throw shade at people if you have to drive a minivan or whatever, but I just think that a certain type of driver is typically drawn to that. It's for safety, of course. And if you've got children, you want them to be comfortable and safe. And
Sure.
sometimes when we're in the car and we're going slow, it's because there's an Odyssey in front of us.
So you actually got me into riding.
Yeah, I've always wanted to do it. I've always been curious. My dad has ridden most of his adult life, and all of his brothers have always had motorcycles. They don't really ride the types of motorcycle I would like to ride. They do cruiser style. And I really never knew that there were so many different kinds until I got this book at Barnes & Noble probably 10 years ago and started seeing all the different bikes and different styles, and it really opened my eyes. And then I saw a MotoGP race in real life, and that was crazy. It was a lot of fun to watch.
Did you volunteer for one of those?
I did a rally. I was a corner marshal for a rally, and they did do a moto. They actually let motorcycles rally in the sand at Sandblast. That was the craziest thing. I know somebody broke his ribs doing that because you don't have a co-driver when you're on a motorcycle.
So you're making a lot of decisions very quickly.
Yeah, that's not something I would ever want to do, is a rally on a motorcycle. But the thing about those is when you go to a rally or you go to any other kind of race, it attracts a lot of people with a lot of different cool cars and bikes. And you learn a lot just by talking to the people there. And it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to ask questions about, what size the engines are, what the top speed is, things like that.
I just passed you unsafely.
I know. You kind of scared me. I'm glad you're leaving, though, right now, actually. The wind is blowing me around a little bit.
For a windy day. Well,
Yeah.
you've got that little bike, which is awesome. It's a Suzuki TU250X, right?
Yeah. But you've got that amazing Ducati Cafe Racer.
They're both, I guess, considered naked bikes. That's why we named the channel Ride Naked, because we like this style of bike, right?
Absolutely. It's my favorite. I can appreciate a bike with some awesome fairings on it, but I like to see all the stuff, the guts and the trellis, and I like to see what's inside that bike.
I know that naked bikes are usually categorized by certain, like standard. Sometimes they're called standard, but there's a variety of definitions, and both these sort of fit into that. I hope
think so.
Anyway.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do. I've got like a headlight fairing on mine, and that's it. And you might have a couple of like pieces, but nothing covering it. No fairings. No fairings. You don't even have a windshield, do you?
Nope. No windscreen.
Hi.
Huh?
Hi.
This cool cemetery here.
Oh, I love it. I'm one of those. It's old.
You love
I want to
the
go in there
cemetery.
sometime. Yeah. I want to see some of those someday. Soon. It's getting spooky time.
It is spooky time. There's a lot of loose gravel on this road, just FYI.
Yeah, I can tell. So I'm going slow. Ooh. This is so pretty out here. My biggest fear is being on one of these humped roads like this with the loose gravel, going around a blind turn and a car being right there.
There's a lot about riding that's, I find it challenging to, it keeps you thinking. You're not sitting there just bored, driving, sitting in traffic or whatever. It's a challenge.
There's a lot going on all the time when you're riding.
So, we're new. Ride Naked, Moto, the usual. What do they always say? Subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. Hopefully we'll put out some more videos, and we'll talk about some of our experiences. So see you next time. Thanks everybody for watching.